The master key, how to program your subconscious for wealth. Look at your hands. Look at the life you've built, the room you occupy, the bank account you check, and the person you see in the mirror every morning. If you are honest with yourself, you will realize that everything you see is not a stroke of luck, nor is it a cruel twist of fate. It is the physical manifestation of the mental architecture you have been constructing, often unknowingly for years. Most people walk through this world as sleepwalkers, dreaming a dream that someone else wrote for them. They wonder why the walls of their life feel so narrow, why the ceiling feels so low, and why their aspirations seem to retreat the moment they reach for them. They search for the secret in external circumstances, in the economy, in their boss, in their upbringing, or in the elusive right time. But the secret is not external. The secret is the master key, and it has been resting in your pocket the entire time. The mind is not merely a tool for processing information. It is a creative engine, a broadcasting station, and a receiver for the infinite intelligence that governs the universe. When you understand that you are the sole programmer of this engine, your entire relationship with reality changes. You stop asking for permission to succeed, and you start demanding it from the universe. Napoleon Hill spent his life documenting the blueprints of the world's greatest achievers, the Fords, the Carnegies, the Edisons. What he found was not a complex algorithm or a hidden map. He found that every single one of them possessed a specific, almost terrifying level of command over their own subconscious. They did not just hope for success, they conditioned their inner world to reject the possibility of failure so violently that the external world had no choice but to bend to their will. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between a real event and an imagined one that is emotionally charged with absolute conviction. It is a faithful servant waiting for your instructions. The problem is that most people spend their entire lives feeding this servant a diet of fear, doubt, and limitation. They wake up and feed it the news of the world, their own inadequacies, and the shadow of their past mistakes. And then they wonder why their life is a reflection of those very things. If you want to change the fruit that grows on the tree of your life, you must stop watering the roots of your fear. You must begin, with absolute intent, to plant the seeds of your ambition into the fertile, waiting soil of your subconscious. This requires something that the average person is terrified of: total responsibility. It is easier to believe that the world is happening to you. It is easier to be a victim of circumstance because victims don't have to face the daunting reality of their own potential. But you are not a victim. You are the architect of your own catastrophe, or the master of your own destiny. The choice is made in the silence of your own mind. When you go to sleep tonight, your subconscious continues to work, processing the dominant thoughts you held during the day. If you go to sleep thinking about what you lack, you are programming the universe to keep you in a state of lack. If you go to sleep visualizing the manifestation of your burning desire, you are setting the clock for your own breakthrough. Think of Henry Ford. When he sat down to design the V8 engine, he was told it was impossible. His engineers said it couldn't be done, that the metallurgy and the mechanics were beyond the realm of reality. But Ford had already built the engine in his mind. He didn't just see a drawing on a blueprint. He felt the vibration of the machine running. He held the vision so clearly, so persistently, that the impossible simply became a matter of time. He didn't argue with his engineers. He simply gave them an order and told them to continue until they found the way. He had programmed his subconscious to expect the result, and therefore, the result became an inevitable consequence of his existence. This is the power of the master key. It is the ability to hold a vision of your future with such unwavering intensity that it overrides your present limitations. Your current bank balance, your current job title, your current level of influence. These are merely historical records of your past thoughts. They are the artifacts of who you were. They have no power over who you are deciding to be right now. To command your subconscious, you must begin to speak to yourself in the language of success, not in the language of I want or I hope or I'm trying. These words are the language of lack. The universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you are being and what you are projecting. You must speak in the language of I am. I am the architect of my reality. I am the master of my focus. I am the recipient of the infinite intelligence that guides my every action. When you claim these truths, you stop being a leaf blowing in the wind of circumstance and become the wind itself. But there is a price to pay for this level of mastery. You must be willing to let go of the version of yourself that is comfortable with mediocrity. You must be willing to walk into the fire of transformation, where your old beliefs are burned away to make room for your new, elevated identity. Many people stop here. They hear these words, they feel a momentary flicker of inspiration, and they think that is enough. But inspiration without implementation is just a daydream. You must cultivate the discipline to guard the gateway of your mind. Every single thought that enters your head is a choice. Every doubt you entertain is a seed that will grow into a weed, choking out the harvest of your potential. You must become a sentry at the gates of your own consciousness. When the voice of doubt whispers that you aren't ready, or that you lack the resources, or that the market is too crowded, you must recognize that voice for what it is, an echo of your past, not a vision of your future. You must starve that voice. You must replace that doubt with a declaration of your purpose. When you align your conscious intention with the immense unseen power of your subconscious, you create a synergy that is unstoppable. This is how men like Lincoln rose from the log cabin to the White House. This is how Disney turned a cartoon sketch into a global empire. They did not have more hours in the day than you do. They did not have a different set of universal laws acting upon them. They simply refused to accept the reality that their current situation presented to them. They were in constant conversation with the infinite. They were constantly programming their subconscious for the outcome they desired, regardless of the chaos that surrounded them. Understand this: the subconscious is not concerned with the how. The how is the domain of your conscious action, and it will reveal itself as you move forward. Your job is to define the what and the why with such terrifying clarity that the universe is forced to rearrange itself to accommodate you. You must create a mental image of your success that is so vibrant, so detailed, and so emotionally charged that it feels more real to you than the desk in front of you. You must practice the feeling of having already arrived. When you feel the weight of your goal achieved, when you feel the joy of the success you seek, you are signaling to your subconscious that this is your new baseline. And once it is your baseline, your life will move heaven and earth to match your inner state to your outer reality. The world will try to force you into a state of reaction. It will bombard you with news of scarcity, with warnings of instability, and with the collective anxiety of those who have surrendered their creative power to the whims of the economy. If you allow your subconscious to be a mirror of the world, you will always be a reflection of its chaos. You must instead become a lighthouse. A lighthouse does not move for the storm. It stands firm, beaming its light into the darkness, guiding ships to safety regardless of the wind or the waves. Your mind is that lighthouse. When you decide that your internal state is no longer subject to negotiation with external events, you achieve the first level of true freedom. Consider the nature of faith. In the realm of high-level achievement, faith is not a passive religious concept, it is a cognitive tool. It is the unwavering expectation of a desired result, despite the absence of physical evidence. When you see a seed planted in the dark earth, you do not dig it up every hour to see if it has sprouted. You have the faith, based on the laws of nature, that it is working. You have the patience to let the process unfold. Yet when it comes to your own life and your own ambitions, you demand immediate, tangible proof. You lose faith the moment the results don't manifest on your schedule. This is the surest way to signal to your subconscious that you do not truly believe in your own vision. The master key requires that you treat your success as an inevitability. If you were to plant an oak tree, you would know that it would one day grow to 100 feet. You would not question its ability to reach that height, you would only focus on nurturing it. You must treat your goals with the same gravity. You must build your life on the bedrock of the certainty that you are capable of achieving what you have conceived. This level of conviction requires that you prune the garden of your mind. If you are constantly allowing the weeds of insecurity, comparison, and fear to grow alongside your ambition, you will never see the harvest you desire. You must be ruthless with your thoughts. You must pull the weeds of self-doubt the second they appear, not tomorrow, not next week, but the instant you feel the vibration of unlimiting thought. The energy you project is the currency with which you buy your future. Every time you complain, you are spending your currency on poverty. Every time you speak of your struggles as if they are your permanent identity, you are investing in a cycle of failure. You must shift your vocabulary. Your words are the commands you give to your subconscious. If you say, "I am broke," you are creating a command. If you say, "I am going through a period of financial growth," you are stating a process. The mind accepts the command and begins to organize your life around that truth. Start narrating your life as a story of inevitable victory. Even when the bank account is low, even when the obstacles seem insurmountable, describe your situation as a bridge you are currently crossing toward your destination. This is not delusion, this is intentional perspective. Reality is malleable. What you perceive as a wall is often just a shadow of your own fear. When you confront a problem with the mindset of a master, you don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" You ask, "How can I leverage this to get closer to my goal?" The challenge, the crisis, the setback, these are the crucibles of character. They are the moments where your subconscious is tested to see if your resolve is merely a wish or a burning demand. Napoleon Hill noted that every adversity carries with it the seed of an equivalent benefit. Your job is to have the presence of mind to find that seed and cultivate it, rather than mourning the adversity. You have a reservoir of power within you that you have barely begun to tap. It is the reservoir of infinite intelligence, the same creative force that drives the stars in their courses and the seasons in their turn. This power flows through you at all times, but it is channeled through the bottleneck of your own beliefs. If your beliefs are narrow, the power is restricted. If your beliefs are vast, the power is amplified. To program your subconscious for wealth and mastery, you must expand your definition of what is possible for you. You must expose yourself to the stories of the giants who came before you. Read their biographies, study their habits, and notice the pattern of their thinking. You will find that they all shared one thing. They were obsessed. Obsession is the fuel that powers the master key. It is the singular focus that allows you to bypass the distractions of the mundane. When you are obsessed with a mission, your subconscious begins to scan the environment for opportunities, resources, and connections that you would otherwise ignore. You start seeing solutions where others see problems. You start hearing the whispers of guidance where others hear only noise. You become a magnet for the elements of success because your focus has prepared your mind to recognize them. But be warned, obsession is a double-edged sword. You must be obsessed with the positive outcome, not the struggle. Be obsessed with the service you provide, the value you create, and the legacy you leave. When your focus is on how you can contribute to the world, the universe will provide the wealth you need to sustain that contribution. You are currently writing the next chapter of your life with every breath you take and every thought you nurture. The pages are blank, but the ink is already in your hand. Do not waste another second writing a story of what if or if only. If only. Start writing the story of this is my time. This is my vision. This is my life. The universe does not owe you anything, but it will yield to you everything if you approach it with the command of a master. You are the programmer. You are the command. You are the result. Now, stand up and claim the reality that has been waiting for you to recognize it. The master key is in your hand. Turn the lock and step into the life you were designed to lead. The architecture of your success is built on the foundation of your habits. You can possess all the knowledge in the world, you can repeat all the affirmations of the greats, but if your daily rituals are rooted in the comfort of the past, your future will remain a ghost. The subconscious does not change through sporadic bursts of enthusiasm. It is reprogrammed through the relentless repetition of your focus. It is the steady daily drip of intentional thought that carves the canyon of your destiny. Most people fail not because they lack the ability to succeed, but because they lack the discipline to persist until the subconscious accepts their vision as the absolute truth. Consider the compounding effect of your thoughts. If you commit to 10 minutes of intense, clear visualization every single morning, seeing your goals not as distant possibilities but as current facts, you are effectively installing new software into your brain. You are overwriting the old, limiting programs of your childhood, your environment, and your past failures. Over days, weeks, and months, this new programming begins to dictate your automatic responses. You will find yourself making different decisions. You will find yourself gravitating toward different circles of people. You will find yourself feeling a strange, calm certainty even when the world around you is in total disarray. That is the moment the master key begins to turn. You must understand that wealth is not merely a collection of digits in a bank account. Wealth is a frequency. It is an internal state of abundance that manifests externally. If you chase money from a place of fear, you will find that it slips through your fingers. Or worse, it creates a prison of stress that robs you of the very life you sought to improve. When you operate from the master key, you realize that money is simply a byproduct of the value you contribute and the clarity of the vision you hold. You do not chase wealth. You become a person of such character, such vision, and such service that wealth is naturally drawn to you, like a moth to a flame. This is why the greats of history were never solely concerned with the accumulation of gold. They were obsessed with the expansion of their capability. Ford cared about the mechanics of transportation. Carnegie cared about the construction of industry. Edison cared about the conquest of darkness. They focused on the problem they were solving, and the wealth followed as a natural consequence. When you focus on your mission, when you commit to being the absolute best in your chosen field, you align yourself with the natural laws of expansion. You become an irresistible force in the marketplace of life. Do not allow your mind to be cluttered by the opinions of others. The majority will always tell you that you are aiming too high. They will tell you to be realistic, to be content with what you have, to play it safe. Understand that this advice is given from the perspective of their own limitations, not yours. They are speaking from the fear that governs their own subconscious. To listen to them is to volunteer for their reality. You must guard your vision with the ferocity of a warrior. Your goal is your sacred duty, and those who do not understand it have no place at the table of your decision-making. You are a divine instrument, and your potential is not a finite resource. It is infinite, bounded only by the courage with which you claim it. The world is filled with people who are waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for the right person to help them, waiting for the feeling to strike, But the master key is not for the waiter, it is for the initiator. It is for the person who stands up in the middle of the storm and declares, "This is the way I shall go." When you make that declaration, you engage the gears of the universe. Doors that were locked suddenly swing wide. Connections that seemed impossible suddenly manifest. Opportunities that were hidden in plain sight suddenly become the path you walk. Every moment is a choice between the version of you that is limited by your history and the version of you that is empowered by your future. You are currently at the precipice of a new reality. Everything you have experienced, every struggle you have endured, has served only to sharpen your tools and expand your capacity for the greatness that lies ahead. You are ready. You have always been ready. The only thing that has been holding you back is the belief that you needed permission to rise. You have it now. You have the knowledge. You have the power. You have the master key. Now, go forth and build the architecture of your soul. Do not look back. Do not hesitate. Do not bargain with your destiny. Simply do the work of holding your vision with such intensity that reality itself must yield to your command. The life you have dreamed of is not a fantasy. It is a blueprint waiting to be brought into the light of the physical world. Own it, believe it, and act as if it is already done. Your empire begins in the silence of your mind, and today, you have officially taken the throne.